In this video, we'll take a look at how to decide the appropriate version of Migration Toolkit for Containers, or CRANE, to install on your OpenShift clusters. Starting in OpenShift 4.9, the custom resource definition v1 beta 1 API was dropped. Because of this, we've had to make some internal modifications to the MTC source code that require us to install a separate version, or an older version of CRANE on your older clusters and use the newest version of CRANE on the newer clusters. So if you're running OpenShift 3.7 through 4.5, you should install CRANE 1.5.1 or later using a CRANE 1.5 release. And if you're on OpenShift 4.6 Plus, you should install CRANE 1.6.x or newer. These CRANE versions have been designed to interoperate with each other, where usually we require an exact match of CRANE or MTC versions. Here we allow a difference in versions and make sure that we support it. So you can see here I've got a OpenShift 3.11 cluster in my left-hand side terminal and an OpenShift 4.8.4 cluster in my right-hand side terminal. And I'm going to show the installation procedure for both of these clusters. On OpenShift 3.11, we'll do a non-OLM install. So we'll head to the deploy non-OLM directory here, and we'll manually create the operator manifest first, and then we'll create the controller-3 manifest, which is actually going to spawn the migration components. After we've done this, we can get started on the OpenShift 4 install procedure. So for OpenShift 4, specifically OpenShift 4.8, we'll install CRANE 1.6.x from OLM or Operator Hub. Right now this version hasn't been released yet, so I'm using the development update channel for the CRANE operator and putting this into the OpenShift migration namespace. We can see that this is installing and now it's succeeded. Once this is finished, we'll scroll down and find the migration controller instance create button. This is the last thing we need to do to complete our installation of CRANE or MTC. And we'll head over to the workloads section and watch the pods spin up just to make sure that the process is totally complete. Once we see the migration pod is ready and the controller pod is ready, we can head to the routes section of the UI and look at the migration UI route. From here, log into CRANE with our cluster credentials, and we'll be able to add our OpenShift 3 cluster. And as a reminder, because we now support 1.5.1 and 1.6.0 or later running together, you should be able to add these clusters without any sort of warning in this UI.